दुश्मन है मेरे रज़ा कहा जल रहा था जला.
Sister from Leicester is with us. Ji, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother, I got a question. I've asked this question before, but I think the ulama sahab probably misunderstood me.
Ji.
And then I did try to email, but it doesn't come up on any of the programs.
Okay.
So my question is regarding namaz. I've heard from somebody very close to me that we should read farz namaz first. Like for Zohar, you've got 4 sunnah, 4 farz, 2 sunnah, 2 nafal. And we can leave the sunnah and the nafal. We should concentrate on reading our farz, which is farz on us. The rest, in any namaz, the sunnahs and the nafals, we can leave out, and there's no guna for that. Is that only if you don't have time, or is it totally that because we are only supposed to read farz, well, we are supposed to read farz, and sunnah and nafal are from Hazur Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam on top of that? The other thing, if it's only farz we're supposed to read, we can leave the others out. In Isha, we only have 4 farz. What about the witr? Then how are we supposed to read Isha?
So when you say you've heard from someone, sister, who is this someone that you've heard from?
My husband.
Yeah. So first of all, when it comes to deen, you should always get it checked by people who are more learned and who have taken this as an occupation, or this is their profession, like the ulamas.
But sorry, don't get me wrong. He's actually Hafiz al-Quran himself.
Right.
But he's more like, I'm Sunni, my family's Sunni. Not practiced a lot of Islam, but I'm trying now. Mm-hmm. But he's Sunni, but he talks like, lots of things come across like he's talking like from a Wahabi point of view. So there's a lot of differences when it comes to Islam on me and him. But then I kind of, because he's my husband, I'm like, okay, ji, theek hai, inshallah, and then I go quiet. But I do try to find.
So was he always like this, or did he just suddenly become the other type, sort of?
No, I think he's always been like this. His family is like this.
This is something which, sister, you're supposed to look at before you even enter marriage, because it's not even permissible to get married to people like that, really, because you can end up, becoming like that yourself, and even your children can also become like that. So it's a very dangerous thing to do.
I didn't know, obviously, before, because like I said, I didn't practice myself. In my sisters, my brothers, our family, we not really practice. It's more like a British mahol in the house. But since I'm away from them, I'm more kind of, if I hear something, I'll be trying to look into it and try not to do it, or just find answers. But it's a bit hard to have a conversation or argument or best, or try to prove it to my husband, because sometimes I'm not strong enough with words, even generally about stuff. So when it comes to Islam, I'll be more confused, and he's more powerful with words and everything. So I'm like, and plus he's Hafiz al-Quran, so I kind of like go quiet.
Well, that doesn't suggest anything, because just to know the Quran by heart does not mean to say that you understand it.
Well, he comes out with hadiths, and then
it looks like he's quite involved and quite deeply involved in what he's involved with in that other school of belief. So you need to be very, very careful, because if you lose that, you've lost everything. Because your faith.
Plus, the other thing is, he's actually married second time, and I'm his second wife, but his first wife, she's Polish. So a lot of things kind of like, because she goes out to meet a lot of other sisters. I am normally at home. I don't go out and meet a lot of people. And she has a lot of sisters around here. And Leicester's full of, Gujaratis and lots of different types of Muslims here. But she gets all these different views from all these sisters. And then he kind of like, I don't know, I feel that they're like, yeah, this is right. But when I try to say, no, hang on a minute, I think that's wrong, it's kind of like putting me down, pressuring me down, that no, dab jati hai meri awaaz, if you try to understand what I'm trying to say, that my voice doesn't get raised as in, yeah, she could be right. It's more like what they're doing and saying is more right than what I am.
Yeah, so sister, you need to keep in touch with the Sunni ulamas if you want to, protect your faith, because otherwise your faith is in danger.
You know what? The only channel I can keep in touch with is Ummah. This is why I always watch Ummah channel and ask questions. But you know, when he comes here and he sees Ummah channel and Swal Jawab and everything, he's like, that's not right, that's not like this, that's not like that. He'd rather watch Peace TV and Dr. Zakir Naik, which I don't understand a lot of the talks of Dr. Zakir Naik, so I kind of don't watch him just because I'm like, you know what, I'm not even sure if that's right. My heart doesn't just, you know, my heart says, no, you know what, you need to watch this channel, you need to listen to these people, so I kind of like stay in touch on here. But he kind of just changes and more like Peace TV, Noor TV, and so anyway, about this namaz thing.
Yeah, so I'll answer the question whilst you're on the phone. Okay. Is that the sunnats are two types. There are the emphatic sunnah, which is the sunnat-e muakkada. The 4 sunnats which you have with the Zuhr and with the Maghrib. All of the sunnats in Zuhr namaz, the Fajr namaz and the Maghrib namaz, they are emphatic sunnats, which means that they're not optional, you must pray them. Yeah? And the sunnats that you've got in the Asr and the Isha prayer, the starting sunnats, the 4 sunnats at the starting, they are optional.
Okay.
All the other sunnats must be prayed, yeah? They're not optional.
Right, okay.
Okay, sister, so the only optional sunnats are the first 4 sunnats of Asr and the first 4 sunnats of Isha. All the other sunnats, you must continue to pray them.
And the nafals, yeah?
The nafals are obviously, nafal means optional. If you do pray them, then that will be a means for you getting close to Allah Pak. So you should continue to pray the nafal as well. Why leave out the nafal?
Okay.
Because once you start off leaving out the nafal, then you start off leaving the sunnats, and then gradually you'll start leaving out the wajib. The 3 witr of Isha, they are wajib, so they are even more compulsory than the sunnats are.
Okay, you know, in the witr, the Dua Qunut, if you don't know Dua Qunut or you don't remember it, or halfway reading through you kind of forget, is there any other surah that you can read?
Yeah,
or
temporarily you can read Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya. If you know that dua, Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasana wa Fil Akhirati Hasana wa Qina Adhaban Nar.
Just the one?
Or, yeah, you can read that temporarily whilst you are in the process of relearning your Dua Qunut. You know, you can't do that permanently. And if you do not even know Rabbana Atina, then you can simply just say, Allahumma Rabbana Gfirli.
Oh no, of course, I know this.
Okay, sister.
The other, sorry, one more question. If you got makeup on, does your wuzu still count? Can you still read namaz? Because apparently he says that if you've got makeup on, your namaz is makruh, you can't read namaz. Well, you can, but it's not accepted as, you don't get as swab as you would read without makeup.
You can't wear makeup as long as it does not contain any impurities, like, you know, it doesn't contain any impure substances. And if it's not waterproof, then if it is waterproof, then obviously you have to take it off when you do wuzu. And if it's not waterproof, it's okay to have that on and you can do wuzu at the same time.
So if you've got makeup on and it's not waterproof, you can still do wuzu.
And if it's not, if it doesn't contain anything which is haram.
Right. Okay.
Okay, sister. Jazakallah for your call. So the sister from Leicester, the questions that she asked, I did answer all of those questions online. But what is of concern, respectable viewers and listeners, is that too many of our sisters, they end up getting married to the wrong person, not knowing what their faith was, not knowing what their aqidah is. They end up getting married to a bad aqidah, and they themselves then are confused because they've gone too deeply involved in the relationship. And what you do not understand is there's nothing more important, even more than the relationship that you have with your spouse, than your iman, than your faith. Because when you die, your spouse is not going to go in the grave with you. That spouse of yours is going to put you in that grave and go and get married again. Yeah? Or, they can even get married whilst you are alive. So why would you want to, jeopardize your akhirat for the sake of a spouse who is a bad aqidah? If that person is not a Sayyul Aqidah Sunni Muslim, if they do not become a Sayyul Aqidah Sunni Muslim, then there is nothing more important than breaking off that tie, that relationship, and becoming, finding a partner who is Sunni. Yeah, this is, as a servant of Deen, I believe it is my duty to say that to all the brothers and sisters, that we should first and foremost make sure that the person whom we are getting married to is a, complete and pure Sunni Sahih Aqidah, who does not doubt the ilm-e-ghaib of the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah, who does not think that to call out to the Prophet ﷺ is shirk, who does not think that milad is shirk, etc. Yeah? If that person is one of the others, i.e. not a Sunni, but a bad aqidah, whatever kind of bad aqidagi they have, then you should not entertain that person for marriage. Yeah? And if you are unfortunately involved with that person and they are quite extremist in their beliefs and views, then you must sever that relationship and remarry. Because there is nothing more important than your iman. This life is only a test. And Ala Hazrat Azim al-Barakat, the great Imam of Ahlul Sunnat, he advises and says that just as you would remove a fly which has fallen into a glass of milk and not entertain that fly again, that is the example of those bad aqidah people. Remove them out of your lives like you throw that fly away. That's how filthy they are.